Now, this is the voluntary part. I'm going to zoom through it. Listen to this. Whatever I said, that was mandatory. You have to do it. Now, does the homeowner going to do it? We bid, we don't know if they have the job yet, it hasn't started, a director of one of these famous movies. I'm in not Beverly Hills, but Pacific Palisades, and we are talking. They're extremely conscious that every material that comes to the house has proper rating, green rating. They want it all the way, right? Okay. So those become the list that you follow. That becomes the voluntary. Community connectivity, I won't go other than the fact that if you build a house within metropolitan area and you're close to a church, to a school, etc., so you have to use your car leased. That's what connectivity means. Brownfield or gray field means that you go and you buy a distressed land. Somebody that does not want to lease it, and it has methane, etc., you want to treat it, you want to go in. The other one is an open space. You want to make sure that you use the least amount of land, you have more, and you go stack up so you don't damage the earth. The other one is you take the construction and reuse of existing. As much as you can, you salvage the existing. You reuse. These are from my lead world. Site development the same way. Stormwater design, as I described it with regard to the City of LA. The low impact development, whatever you do, you impact the earth, your environment the least. Changing with shower, remember the change room, now you add the shower. The designated parking for low efficiency fuels, right? Buy a hybrid, get an electric car, those are promoting it. Electric vehicle supply wiring, have plugs for the electric vehicles there. The other one, reduce parking capacity. Hey, don't give any parking. Everybody gets shuttled in. That's what they promote. Exterior walls will have proper shading. Heat island effect in the sense that the building will not raise heat of the atmosphere. What does that mean? If you look at a profile of the temperature of the city and the outside of the city, is the cities are 10 degrees warmer than the outside of the city, just because of the heat that we've generated and you offset that. That's heat island effect. Hardscape alternates, don't have that much hardscape, do as much landscape as possible. Underground parking, and do whatever you can. Dig into the ground, make sure that you do the least impact. Cool roof, when you see a roof, you say, that's cool. That's what I mean. So if you see a cool roof, say, hey, that's cool. So that actually means that you have a SRI, solar reflective index, that will be white and will shine back, it will not absorb the heat. Voluntary energy efficiency, go out and beat the hell out of the Tile 24, get all of your equipment with a little tag out of the Energy Star on there. Do energy monitoring, put bells and whistles. Put the demand response. Hey, I have motion sensors on this. As I come in, it turns on. That's demand response. Put a motion sensor, put a VAV. I have a full VAV system in my house. In the wintertime, don't go to the other rooms. You're going to freeze. Because only when you go out, you better wear a jacket. The reason is only 2 rooms get heated. Because I got a computer control. On-site energy usage. This is for you. 1% of every house has to have solar. Imagine, add all of the gigawatts. Remember, why did I say that? What is happening is, what is the difference between demand factor and connected load? Connected load is, I add up all the wattages and I come up with 1,000 amps, right? But my actual load could be only 200, but code says you got to put 1,000 amps. That 1%, write this down, is 1% of service size. So 1% of all the service size, you need solar panel, and buy it from the gentleman right there in red. Anyway, I had to tease you there. We have several projects. We have a Nevada solar tree, the giant tree, that's with many. We have a 30 thin film production, and then right now he's talking to a plant in Maryland. They're doing 200,000 square feet of regular solar panels, and thin film is so light that it's actually you could use it in lieu of glass, and all of your exterior windows will be thin film. And guess what? One of the projects that he has, first top floors of the hotels will be all thin film. They're glass, but by the way, at the same time, they are collecting heat. And one interesting thing is that if you use a regular solar panel in a very, very hot environment, the efficiency goes down. Did you know? So you better have to use a thin film, which is now temperature related, right? So you got to use alternatives. So if you're a very, very, very hot place, the regular solar panel is not very, very efficient. By the way, there is a mystery about T5 and T8. I will not go into it. It has the same problem, curve. Anyway, so just note, you add up all the new buildings or anybody who wants to modify in 2012 or 2013, 1% of that has to have a solar panel, right? So if you got a 200 amp system, you got to have 2 amp. It could be 2 panels, but you have to have it because of that. No. Pre-wiring for solar and storage. Guess what? Hey, design it now for future solar. That's voluntary. Remember I told you about gray water? Pre-wire it now. I have a drawing for Laguna Niguel at 10 kW. Have another, we don't have time, but I did another one for 800 kW for on top of a coal. I did a plancha for a city of Yorba Linda. Some company out of Florida had 800 amp or 480 volt. Okay, 800 times 480 times 1.73, that's the amount of kW that you need. It packed 130,000 square feet of building. That's the volume that we did. On-site energy, I mentioned elevators and escalators. One of the highest, dumbest energy use. One of the worst things that you can do is elevators, and nobody looks at them, but they are energy use. Why not to push them to get their R&Ds going? What happened in the United States? We have no R&D. God bless America, right? No R&D. That's why we got to go to Japanese for everything now. Reduce the energy demand on elevators or speed elevators, put VFDs, whatever you got to do. Put some innovation. You haven't done. Water efficiency, sub-meters greater than 500 square feet. Remember, it used to be 1,000. Indoor, 30%, 35%, 40%. Dual plumbing. Aha! Gray water is here now. And guess what? In certain cities, they're going to mandate you to do dual water plumbing, right? You will plumb it in correctly, etc. And where do we go to learn that? You got to go to Bahamas. It's mandated to use dual plumbing. Most of the military sites, they're far more efficient because they're in the middle of nowhere. Potable water landscape, reduce it by 40 to 45%. There's many, many formats to use. Potable water elimination. At some point, you start eliminating. You have 100%. But that's the concept. The material efficiency and resource, material conservation, etc. Regional materials, buy stuff locally. What is the cost of every product that you buy? What is the cost of this in transportation? Every product that you buy, there is, if I guess, 10 to 15% of the material. Am I a good guess? Anything you touch, it took 15% to bring it. Forget about money. The residuals, the headache, the CO2s, the gasoline, the trucks, and all that. They're trying to make sure that you are regional. I won't go other than 500 miles and keep that for you. Certified wood products. Remember the forest issue. You want to use from where they are well managed and they're controlled. So, and then as long as that sticker there comes in from the appropriate, then there is a chain of custody issue with that. So that wood didn't come from another town, came from that jungle. And rapidly renewable material, use the material, bamboos, etc., so that their life expectancy within 10 years, that farm will come back and you can reuse it. Reused material and recycling, goodwill, just keep thinking of goodwill. Enhanced construction diversion from 65 to 85, etc. So we discussed that. Indoor air quality. What is happening is this. 3 air changes. I truly believe that you have to have so many air changes. What is air change? Take this volume, change it 3 times in 1 hour, right? And that gives you your CFM for the space. We just did the calculation of that. Post-construction, flush out everything. What do you flush out? All the odors, all the plastic, all the chemicals that are embedded into the walls. Flush them out. The other one is resilient floor system. That's a VOC system, the organic chemicals. Thermal installations, organic chemicals, no formaldehyde. What is the best story about formaldehyde? Katrina, and remember those portables, those mobile home trailers, remember that? You can buy them for $5 and on sale because they have formaldehyde and it just is there. Isolation of pollutant sources, self-closing doors, exhaust, etc., etc. That's for anything that's pollutant. The MERV 11, remember MERV Griffin 8? Now we got MERV 11. You go MERV 18 to 13, and the MERV